The roar of engines echoed across the Texan sky as the sun set over the circuit of the Americas. You could almost feel the electricity in the air, the kind that makes even seasoned fans sit a little straighter in their seats. On October 19th, 2025, Formula One didn't just host another Grand Prix. It witnessed the spark of a rivalry that could define an entire era. Two names now stand at the heart of this new storm: Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. One, a four-time world champion who's bent the sport to his will. The other, a fearless challenger determined to break the system and carve his name into history. After the United States Grand Prix in Austin, these two collided not with fists or words, but with raw performance, precision and pride. The kind of rivalry Formula One has been waiting for. When the lights went out that Sunday afternoon, Verstappen's Red Bull shot forward with the ferocity of a man on a mission. Behind him, the papaya-orange McLaren of Lando Norris hunted him down relentlessly. The roar of the crowd grew louder with each lap, knowing they were watching something special unfold. Verstappen didn't flinch. He controlled the race like a maestro, setting a blistering pace lap after lap. When the checkered flag finally waved, Verstappen crossed the line first, 7.9 seconds ahead of Norris. It was his statement win, a warning shot to everyone, but especially to Lando Norris. The king isn't done ruling just yet. But here's where things get interesting, because this wasn't just another Max masterclass. It was a message from both sides. Verstappen may have won, but Norris proved that he's not backing down. He pushed the reigning champion to his limits, showing that McLaren's rise isn't a fluke, it's a revolution. And what started as respect between two friends now feels like the beginning of something deeper, more intense, more personal. A genuine rivalry built not on bitterness, but on ambition. To understand why this race hit differently, let's rewind a little. The weekend began with the sprint shootout. Verstappen snatching pole with a lap of 1 minute, 32.143 seconds, just 71 thousandths of a second faster than Norris. Think about that. 71 thousandths, less than the blink of an eye. That gap defined the tone for the weekend. Two drivers operating on the same razor's edge of perfection. But the sprint itself? Chaos. The McLarens collided into each other on lap 1. Piastri out. Norris compromised. Verstappen, cool as ever, cruised to another sprint victory, collecting maximum points while McLaren's internal tension quietly simmered. Then came Sunday, the main event, and this time Norris wasn't playing it safe. As the race unfolded, Lando matched Max through every sector. Lap after lap, the gap hovered under 8 seconds. Close enough to stay in striking distance, but just far enough to remind him how cruelly perfect Verstappen can be when he's in rhythm. Behind them, the field barely mattered. This wasn't Red Bull versus McLaren anymore. It was Max Verstappen versus Lando Norris. Mano a mano. At one point, Norris even set the fastest lap, forcing Red Bull to call Verstappen in for a tyre switch earlier than planned. That's not a small detail, that's pressure. Pressure that Red Bull hasn't felt in years. Now, let's talk numbers, because numbers tell stories too. Before Austin, Oscar Piastri led the championship with 346 points. Norris followed with 332. Verstappen sat third with 306. The order looked comfortable. Then came Austin. Verstappen took pole, sprint win and race victory, a clean sweep, cutting the gap to 26 points behind Norris and 40 behind Piastri. Just like that, the title fight turned from a two-man race into a three-way war. And it's no longer about who's fastest, it's about who breaks first. And here's where emotions come in. Because under all the glamour, under all the telemetry and strategy, lies something human. Fear. Verstappen's fear isn't of losing races, it's of losing control. He's built his empire on dominance, on dictating every rhythm of a season. But for the first time in years, someone is starting to match his tempo. On the other side, Norris's fear isn't about failure. It's about never fulfilling his promise. For years, people said he was next. Next Hamilton, next Verstappen. But now it's time to prove he's not next. He's now. That's what this rivalry represents. Two men driven by opposing fears, colliding in pursuit of the same dream. Of course, there's still respect between them. They've shared jokes, laughs, even admiration. But deep down, they both know what's coming. There's only room for one at the top. And make no mistake, since Austin, that line in the sand has been drawn. In the paddock, the conversations have changed. Engineers whisper comparisons. Analysts bring up split times. Headlines scream, Norris closing in. And Verstappen? He smiles. That quiet, confident smile of a predator who enjoys the hunt. Now pause for a second. Imagine the chaos at the next race. Lights out in Mexico City. Norris gets the jump. Verstappen right behind him. DRS open, charging down the straight like a missile. Tyres screaming, hearts racing. If they touch, if either one makes a mistake, the entire championship flips on its head. And that's what makes this new rivalry so magnetic. It's not toxic. It's pure competition at its finest. It's Senna-Prost without the politics, Hamilton-Rosberg without the bitterness. It's speed, strategy and swagger colliding. And let's not forget the context. McLaren isn't just racing Red Bull anymore, they're chasing history. The last time McLaren had a drivers' championship was 2008. 17 years ago, Norris is now the closest they've come since Lewis Hamilton's title. For Zach Brown and Andrea Stella, this isn't just about winning races, it's about resurrecting a legacy. And for Verstappen and Red Bull, it's about protecting one. One team hungry to reclaim glory, the other desperate to keep it. That contrast is what fuels rivalries that last decades. Even the smallest details now carry weight. Verstappen's team radio at Austin sounded focused, sharp, but not relaxed. Norris's radio, confident, hungry, almost defiant. After the race, Verstappen praised McLaren, but the tone said everything. He knows they're coming. And Norris, he said it straight. We're closer than ever. Next time, I'm coming for him. You could almost feel the grin behind those words. Oh, and before we go further, quick thing, hit that subscribe button. I mean, Verstappen would probably do it faster than you, but still, prove me wrong. Back to business. The rivalry's not just about track position. It's psychological warfare. Verstappen's greatest weapon has always been intimidation. But Norris doesn't blink. He's got that calm defiance that makes him unpredictable. The moment he starts converting seconds into victories, Verstappen's aura starts to crack. And Max knows it. Every great champion eventually meets the one rival who doesn't move out of the way. For Senna, it was Prost. For Schumacher, it was Häkkinen. For Hamilton, it was Verstappen. And for Verstappen, it's starting to look like Norris. And if you zoom out, this rivalry could save Formula One from predictability. For years, fans complained about dominance. Now, unpredictability is back. We have a three-way title battle. Two teams capable of winning on pure merit, and two drivers with contrasting personalities. Verstappen, the relentless technician, and Norris, the carefree yet ruthless challenger. Their dynamic breathes new life into a sport that thrives on drama. It's not just about who wins, it's about how far they're willing to go to get there. So, as the championship charges toward its final rounds, here's what's on the line. For Norris, it's validation. Proof that he's not just the fun guy on social media, but a world champion in the making. For Verstappen, it's legacy. The chance to cement himself as one of the all-time greats by surviving this new generation's challenge. Every braking point, every tyre change, every pit stop now carries the weight of that story. And it all began in Austin, because Austin wasn't just another race weekend, it was a declaration. It said loud and clear, the age of unchallenged dominance is over. The throne still belongs to Max Verstappen, for now, but standing right beside it, waiting, is Lando Norris, ready to seize it the moment the king falters. This rivalry isn't coming someday. It's already here. And as the next rounds approach, Mexico, Brazil, Las Vegas, Abu Dhabi, every time the lights go out, the tension will be unbearable. Every battle wheel to wheel could change everything. And that's what makes Formula One beautiful. It's not just racing, it's storytelling on asphalt. Heroes, villains, heartbreak, redemptions, tours. It's all unfolding at 200 miles an hour. So, the next time Verstappen and Norris line up side by side, remember Austin. Remember the spark that started it all, because our history doesn't announce itself. It erupts. And this right here could be the eruption that defines the next decade of Formula One. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to check out my next video, the evolution of F1 rivalries, from Senna-Prost to Norris-Verstappen, where we'll dive deeper into how these moments shape champions. Hit subscribe, stay tuned, and buckle up, because the war for Formula One's future has just begun, and it's going to be legendary.